Babes,
Yes?
I'm a little upset with Walmart.
Why?
I put in an order for groceries Tuesday morning,
Uh-huh.
and it was supposed to come on Wednesday, but then you gave me the call
Yeah.
informing me that I didn't need to really bring over that much for Thanksgiving dinner,
Yeah.
besides for some green beans.
And some other things, yeah.
So I decided to delay the order until Monday.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm going to have some alterations since I was planning on a Thanksgiving meal.
Uh-huh.
When you're in the shower,
Yeah.
I go to edit my shopping list and it's not letting me do it
Oh no.
on my phone.
Uh-oh.
I download the iOS app, make sure it's updated, and the same issue. So I might have to cancel my order, babes. Which is really annoying that you can't just change your order around.
I would wait a little bit.
Okay.
I wouldn't cancel it until you know for sure it's a problem. Because remember when something like that happened and then the app started working?
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I'll wait a little while.
I think instead of dismissing it entirely, I cancel it, I would wait a little bit and wait a good amount of time before you cancel it. That's what I would do.
Thank you.
Yeah. Don't quit yet.
Okay.
Don't quit until you have to.
As I say, winners never quit and quitters never win.
You never said that.
I just did.
That would be something that I would say.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's right. Winners never quit and quitters never win. And you know that as far as I'm concerned, because I don't quit very easily.
Oh.
If you haven't figured it out yet, well...
I haven't.
I don't know. Huh?
I haven't figured it out.
No, I mean, if you haven't figured it out that I'm not a quitter.
No, that's what I meant.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just having fun, babes. We determined this morning in bed that the reason none of your exes triggered you as much as I do is because...
I would say challenge, I guess.
Challenge.
Because you are kind of challenging sometimes.
Is y'all just kept it surface level. And with me, we get to go a little bit deeper in our conversations.
I mean, we went deep, but it was a different kind of a deep. It wasn't like politically deep or something like that, you know.
Or spiritually, it sounds like.
There were times where we did, but well, with some of them, it didn't go deeper than it did. Okay, it was kind of we talked about it, but we didn't talk about it much. With the person I was with before you, we did talk about it because we were on the same page with both of those things.
That's a little bit disturbing, but...
That's not disturbing. Okay, that's what it was.
Okay.
But...
I'm just giving you my take.
Well, I don't want your take.
Okay.
Bubs.
Okay, babe.
No, sometimes there are times when you have to shut up.
Really?
Yes.
I do.
Yes. There are times where I'm like, okay, you don't need to give your... You don't need to give your cantankerous opinion.
It's not always that way. Sometimes I'll have like an all shucks opinion on something.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
So.
Well, yeah.
I was coming up with some good dad jokes last night.
Oh, really?
Wasn't I? Didn't you think so?
No, they were pretty bad.
Why do you say that? What were they? I don't even remember.
I don't even know. They were that bad. I just didn't remember it. I'm sure there was something.
You weren't laughing at them.
No, I wasn't.
Oh.
Do you remember one of them? Because I don't.
One of them was like about Hitler, I think. It was not pro-Hitler, by the way.
No, it wasn't pro-Hitler. I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
By the way, did you hear that bombshell about Kanye West? So supposedly he's like a huge fan of Hitler, and they have like 4 sources who say this, that he wanted to name like one of his early albums Hitler, and he was like a big fan of what Hitler did.
Oh, Bubs, I'm not even in the loop about what he's doing right now. I'm just out of it.
Okay.
I'm not even paying attention. Whatever. Unless it actually affects everybody, I'm just out of the loop with the whole Kim Ye or whatever.
Nice.
I was never really a big fan of this guy. I mean, he just says whatever he says, and I'm not always agreeing with it, but I'm out of the Kanye loop.
I got the impression early on in our relationship that you were a huge fan because he was a Trump supporter.
Well, I mean, I would agree with him on that, but that's about it.
Okay. By the way, he's announced that he's running for president. Kanye is in 2024.
I will not vote for him, just to put that on the record right now.
Nice.
I will not vote for him, and I didn't vote for him when he was running the last time.
I didn't think you did because you're such a Trump stan. But the question I would have for you, let's say Trump drops out for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's like Lying Ted, Joe Biden.
Why does it have to be like the worst of the worst?
I don't know.
Why?
Okay.
Why? That's hard.
Okay, let's say it's...
But what are you trying to do?
Let's revamp this. It's Ron DeSantis, Joe Biden, and Kanye West. I'm assuming you would vote for Ron DeSantis?
I would, because he would be the only person that would actually support the values that I support.
Oh.
I would not vote for Ted because I think he's an establishment Republican, and
Yes.
I don't trust him, and just as much as I don't trust people like Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell. A lot of people want Mitch McConnell gone. In fact, I think they were looking at impeaching him, but I don't know if that's
That would be
kind
of cool.
I think it would be too, because he's been there for so long. He's got ties to China. People have not been happy with his job, and I agree with those people that want him gone. They want him out of there.
Nice.
Yeah, the turtle. I've heard him called the turtle because he's kind of sits on things and doesn't do anything about it for a long time.
Oh my goodness.
The turtle.
Well, let's hope he gets out of office soon, babes.
I would agree with you on that. Absolutely.
Now, having said that, I would read a book about Mitch McConnell, like a biography, because it's interesting to know how somebody like him has managed to stay in power for such a long time.
Well, the only thing that I would say was impressive about him was that he had childhood polio. And his parents, I think his parents weren't sure what was going to happen to him, and he had to struggle with that. I appreciate somebody, at least somebody working hard to get to where they are with when they had to face adversity. But otherwise, I don't think he has integrity. He does not have integrity, and I don't like his character. I think he's a poor example of that.
I would agree with you, obviously.
Yeah, but as far as him overcoming his physical challenges, I have respect for him on that front.
Nice.
Okay, anyone who had to suffer physically to get to where they are, I respect them on all fronts. But he is not an example of somebody with integrity.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, babes.
Yeah.
I finished the book on Sam Peckinpah.
Yeah, you told me you were laughing at some parts of it, and you said that you mentioned it yesterday.
Yeah, we discussed that yesterday, but we did a little bit like of a reading thing, or at least I did.
I did not read.
Yeah.
I was doing other things.
And in the book, it was discussing, obviously, his final years. His mom only died the year before he did.
Wow.
And Sam Peckinpah passed away in December of 1984.
Peckinpah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said that after his son was done with the military, he would visit Sam on the weekends, and they became closer in his final years.
One of his sons?
He only had one son. The rest of them were daughters.
Oh, okay. How did his daughters get along with him? Because you said that his son beat him up and all that.
Well, he was really rough on all of his kids, from what I understand.
Oh.
And one of his daughters had like a grandchild, I think a grandson, when he was a little bit older. And she said, okay, you can come over, but I don't want you bringing your friends, and I don't want you coming over drunk. So they put limits on him.
Yeah.
Is from what I understand.
The daughters did.
Yeah, at least one of them did.
Okay.
And they would say things in the book like he was a real asshole, but he was also concerned about his kids' safety. So when they would come out to visit him on the set of the movie, he would have them all fly out on different flights, because his rationale was, I don't want one plane crashing and then you all die on it, which is kind of weird. What do you think about that?
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. It's what's the word? A dichotomy?
Yeah, or duality.
A duality?
Mm-hmm.
I think dichotomy is a different word. Duality.
Dichotomy might work too, but that was odd to read.
That is.
I guess that kind of makes sense.
Like he was rough on his kids, but he was afraid for his kids' safety.
Yes.
That's weird. Why would he be afraid if he was the one that wasn't safe around the kids?
Yeah, you think you'd be like, all right, you little bastards, get off this planet. But he wasn't like that. Another thing.
That's strange.
Yeah. He directed some music videos in the last year of his life for Julian Lennon.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was kind of cool.
That had to be interesting.
And then he died of heart failure. He was in the hospital for a couple of days before he passed away. I really enjoyed this book.
Wow. He sounds like a complicated guy. Like you could hate him for the things that he did to people on his sets and the women that was in his life and his kids, but you can love him for the art that he created.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he had lots of issues with alcoholism. And
never went to rehab, did he?
That's not the sense that I got.
Wow.
Yes. But anyways, I finished that book.
Yep.
And a couple weeks ago, I told you I read the book Crazy Cat about that illustrator.
Yes.
The guy who wrote it did another book called The Kingdom of Zydeco.
Oh.
And it's about Zydeco music. And it's pretty interesting. I've read a couple chapters. I still have about half of the book left, but I'm really enjoying it.
Wow.
I did not know that there's a difference between Cajun folks and Creole.
I didn't know either. I thought they were lumped in the same category. The only thing I know about Creole people is that the language is based in French.
So they usually are lumped in the same category. But supposedly there's a big difference not a big difference, but a noticeable difference in the way they act and behave.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where some Zydeco players who come out of the Creole tradition will refuse to do a show if they're advertised as a Cajun artist. One of them was this dude named Buckwheat Zydeco.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he was kind of big in the late 80s.
Wow.
Where I'm at in the book right now was talking about Buckwheat and how he got signed to this major record label. There was supposed to be a party that was meant to promote him, but Eric Clapton decided that he wanted to play at the party. So Eric Clapton's on stage and Buckwheat goes up with his accordion and is matching Eric Clapton, and they're trying to one-up each other, and finally Eric just turns to him and says, "Hi, I'm Eric Clapton," and they shake hands. And the people who were there said this is like a very special moment.
Wow.
Buckwheat went on to play at the Olympics in the late 80s. He was on the David Letterman show a bunch of times, apparently, and he sat in with the band. His music was played in many commercials and on TV shows. And I believe this book was originally released in the mid to late 90s, but I'm reading a newer version because it had a foreword from like the mid 2000s.
Wow.
But it talked about how Buckwheat was starting to lose work because his work was getting so popular that people would just copy his sound.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So he wasn't doing as many commercials as he used to do, apparently, because they could get cheaper studio musicians to do it. That was odd to read about. It was super interesting, though. They also told a story earlier on in the book of this musician Ahmed. And I've read different pronunciations of his last name, so I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
But the gist is he was born in the late 1890s.
Wow.
I think his parents were ex-slaves. And he wasn't the best at working the farm, but he was a really, really good musician. So in the Zydeco tradition, apparently there'd be a lot of house parties that people would attend.
Oh, wow.
And he would play all over town. They said that he could come up with a new song on the spot.
Wow.
People were a little bit jealous of him. One, because he wasn't spending all of his days on the farm laboring. So they considered him lazy. But also, he'd point out if a woman was having trouble with a man. Sometimes that would take the form of when he's on stage saying, "Oh, you can tell this couple isn't having a good time. The man must be doing something wrong." Or on other occasions, women would come up to him and say, this is what happened to me this week, and this is what I'm dealing with my husband, and he put it in a song lyric right there.
Oh, no.
This guy's life is a little bit shrouded in mystery.
Mm-hmm.
He started doing recordings in the late 1920s, and you can find his music online, apparently.
Uh-huh.
But at some point, and this is where it gets kind of tricky, somewhere between the late 30s and early 50s, he was walking down the street after a gig. These men picked him up, and they beat him up so bad that they damaged his brain.
Oh.
And there's dispute. There's a group of people who says that he was sleeping with a white woman. Other people who know him really well said, no, he never would have done that because he didn't want to get killed. And so they suspect that maybe he was attacked because of all the things he was saying against men on stage. And other people speculate that he was killed because he was beat up because he was perceived as lazy, or he mouthed off to somebody.
What was he saying about men on stage?
Well, if there was a woman with a problem, she talked with him about it.
Oh.
And Ahmed would put that in his songs that night.
Oh, okay. I thought it was I thought it was also about specific men.
Well, yeah, it was about specific men. So if you have...
like men that he actually knew.
Yes, because this was a local community, babes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I have many friends who play music. Let's take the one who has a crush on you. Let's say you go to him and say, oh, Rick has 12 inches.
What?
I'm giving you an example, babes.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure you get the story right.
My goodness.
And, I only want him to put the tip in, but he wants to go deeper. And he goes up on stage and he does a song about Rick, stick with the tip, or something like that. And I know you've been talking to him. I might feel some kind of way because he's now talking about our sexual issues on stage.
Oh, my goodness.
So I might retaliate against this dude, right? And so some people speculate that that's what happened to Ahmed. Wow. But I was fascinated by the fact that there's such a disparity in not only why people think he was attacked, but the time period. Mm-hmm. Because some people said that they saw him as late as the early 50s walking around town. Now, after I read this portion of the book, I Wikipedia'd him, and they say that he died in 1942. But in the book, they said it could have happened from the late 30s to sometime in the 50s. So it's super interesting to me that there's such a disparity there. What do you think?
I don't know. Interesting.
Yes. Do you want to find out more about the Zydeco movement?
Possibly. I mean, I studied a little bit about it. What are the major... What I'm curious to know is, what are the major differences between Creole and Cajun culture?
Well, one of the things they said in the book, and again, there's a lot of crossover, at least in my mind, is where people come from. So I think it was trying to imply that the Cajun people, a lot of them were actually from Canada.
Yeah.
But they denounced the king like a couple hundred years ago. And then they kind of split off from that region in North America.
Interesting.
And I always thought Cajun was French.
No, it's the Creoles.
The Creoles are the French. Okay.
Yeah, the Creoles are the French. That's why.
See, it goes to show how little I know.
Yeah, I knew that Creole. Creole was talking about French-speaking people, or at least the language. They have a history with French, with the French language.
And just here in the North, we use those terms Creole and Cajun pretty interchangeably.
Maybe it's because a lot of them are living in New Orleans.
Yeah.
In Louisiana. And maybe that's because they're associated with a region of the country.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Also, I was surprised to read about how prevalent house parties were in the Zydeco movement. Now, obviously, that goes on pretty much with all major musical genres, right? They start off in house parties. Mm-hmm. But this continued up until like the late 60s, where it was predominantly, you'd go to somebody's house on a Saturday night, maybe a dance hall, but that was super rare. It was mostly like you'd find a farm, maybe with some old folks. A
Mhm.
bunch of people would go there and say, we will move your furniture in and out, and we'll put up an area so you guys can kind of hang out. And if you don't want to go to the party, and that's how it was done for decades.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
There was this other player named, oh God, was it like Clifton? Oh God, Ginny, I think it's how you pronounce it. And there's a documentary about him that I want to
Are you
watch.
talking about Jimmy Cliff?
No, it's not Jimmy Cliff, babes.
Okay, I wanted to make sure.
I wouldn't know if it was Jimmy Cliff.
Mm.
It was like, yeah, but anyways, or Clifford Chinny, something like that. And
Sounds very familiar.
well, again, there's a documentary about him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he was like really big in the scene. They said wherever he would go for a house party, people would know him. When the Zydeco movement started moving into churches and more quote unquote mainstream venues, he got a lot of work still.
Mm.
They say he was this really good accordion. He had a wild life.
Yeah.
He married a woman who was about 30 years old, but she already had 9 kids.
Whoa.
And he decided to raise all the kids as his own.
Wow.
He had diabetes, but they say he didn't really take care of himself.
Oh.
They say that Clifford was just like this magical guy on the accordion and could really play.
You know, I think if I'm not mistaken, one of my teachers in college was talking about him, and you know him actually.
Oh, that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
believe he mentioned his name.
Yeah, Clifford Cheney. I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name.
Okay, you'll have to spell it for me because I think I've heard his name before.
His name is either Clifford or Clifton, but I think it's Clifford. So he goes through life, and he's on a bunch of recordings too, this dude, Clifford.
Mm-hmm.
And the band said that he didn't really pay them that well, but he can make something like $600 a night, which was pretty big back then.
Mm-hmm.
And one time, his wife is complaining to a club owner and saying he only brings home about $200 a night. So the club owner says, why don't you come in? Because Clifford gets a take of the door. He basically gets the admissions fee.
Yeah.
So you take the money as people are walking in.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that he left with $600.
Wow.
And he could do like 2 shows a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't sound like a lot of money now, but apparently that was a lot back then.
Yeah.
And also, you're a musician with a type of music that really wasn't that big outside of the South.
Mm-hmm.
So he becomes this big star, but eventually in the 1980s, like 87, he ends up passing away from complications with diabetes. But one of his sons started playing music, in the accordion, and he got Clifford's accordion, and he runs the band now. And they say in the book that there's only one original member from the band, and because this book is old, I'm assuming that they might all be gone.
Wow.
What do you think of all this?
I don't know. That's crazy.
When I talk about books,
Yeah.
do you ever feel like you need to read any of these?
Sometimes. Sometimes I think about maybe I should read something by one of the authors that you were reading.
Yeah.
Other times I'm like, I don't understand this. It's not. I'm not really interested in it. I don't know if I'll read a book on Zydeco. But I don't know. But I also don't know much about it, and I love music history.
Mm-hmm.
I think music history is so interesting, and I like finding out the origins of where music comes from, where some music came from. Like I did like a paper on mariachi music at one time. I thought it was really fascinating, and on polka, I did a paper on polka.
Nice.
I did a paper on Gregorian chant.
Well, tell me about polka. What was the basis of your paper?
Basically the origins of polka and how it got popular. I don't have it in front of me, so I couldn't tell you all. It was a long paper, and I wrote it years ago. But basically it was a bohemian music, and polka music consisted of tubas and accordions and drums and it was kind of a fun music, and a lot of people from like European countries would like dance the polka, and it was usually a dance that would be danced with couples, right? And it was kind of confusing because they would like hop 3 times on one foot, hop 3 times on the next foot, and they would kind of change positions. And I know this because, and we didn't really do this. We didn't really spend a whole lot of time doing this, but I went to school with this guy that did that danced the polka weekly, because he went and did some polka dances, and he wanted to play polka music on his tuba.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think he played tuba. Anyway, he wanted to play polka music. Anyway, so he took me into the hallway of our school, the one I went to here, and he was showing me a little bit of polka, and I was very confused. And he also showed me how to dance a waltz, but we did this, it only took us about 5 minutes, because I wasn't sure if the polka and the waltz were almost related, but they weren't.
Yeah.
But sounds, dancing the polka sounds very confusing to me.
Here's my experience with polka. It's nothing deep at all.
Yeah.
Is when I was a little kid, I used to watch Family Matters before it got too sci-fi-ish.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember your man Urkel was really into the accordion and playing polka music.
Yes, I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Well, there was a scene where Laura and Steve went to this dance, and it's like a room full of Swedish people, and they ended up dancing the polka. I think this is when, you probably missed this part of Family Matters when Laura was trying to decide which person she wanted to be with. And I think Steve took her to a polka thing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And this was when the show had just gone completely off the rails.
I didn't think it was. I mean, I thought it was weird, but I liked it. I didn't think much of it. There was a commercial that was kind of funny.
Tell me.
It was a room. In the commercial, there was like this party with all these black people, and they were all doing the polka. Yeah. I forgot what commercial it was, but I thought it was funny.
Nice. And it was never considered rebellious then?
No.
From what I'm gathering from you. Okay.
No, it was a tradition. I think a lot of Swedish people do it. A lot of people from different countries do it. My friend told me that him and his mom would dance the polka together, and she taught him how to dance the polka, and they participated in polka dancing contests.
Can you win actual money by doing that?
I didn't ask him to explain it. I just thought it was kind of strange. I should ask him one time.
Yes.
Because he told me that he learned how to dance the polka with his mom.
He might be getting paid from this world, babes.
I don't know. He was a little kid when they did that.
Oh, maybe his mom took the money and built herself a condo or something.
I don't know. I didn't ask him. I just thought it was strange that he would be in a polka dancing contest, but whatever.
So you said that you also did papers. Was it on Gregorian music?
Gregorian chant, yes.
Give me some context.
Well, what I remember about it was that this was the kind of chant that was done by Gregorian monks.
Yeah, but
I couldn't tell you other stuff because I don't remember what I wrote in the paper. It was years ago. No, I didn't. No.
All right, babes. That was a joke, babes. No. Oh my goodness, you good way. Good.
No.
Give me a kiss.
You frustrate me. Because I think you're making fun of me. That's why.
Oh, I like to have fun, but so do you, babes.
I do.
Yes,
I do. But you make fun of me at my expense all the time.
Not all the time.
Yes, you do.
Not all the time.
Yes, you do.
I didn't when I was giving the explanation of the Kingdom of Zydeco.
That was because you were talking about your book.
Oh.
Why would you make fun of me then?
Exactly. So I can't. By definition, it can't be all the time.
But when it comes to me, you do it all the time.
Well, you say some stuff that I find humorous. But that's good. That's good.
No, I wish I had the paper, but I don't.
Oh, I want to learn more about the history of music now. I've
It's
noticed
fascinating.
that within the last couple of months, my interest in this stuff has really peaked for some reason.
When I was taking my music history class, and granted it was like classical music history, the periods that were interesting were like the Romantic period of music. The Baroque period was really interesting because that's when you got opera was really popular back then. You had stage sets were popular back then, and then the violas, the violins, those were very popular back then. Harpsichords, so that's where you get Bach's music.
Yeah.
The Romantic period, it was interesting too because it was kind of like the Romantic period music is kind of, it's supposed to sound like it's in a dreamlike state. A lot of times when people wrote a Romantic period song, they would write a lot of chromatic scales in it.
Explain to me what chromatic scales are.
Okay, well, let me explain. So if you're playing a C, if you're playing a scale in C,
Yeah.
you would play all of the sharps and all of the flats and all the other notes in between. So you would play the entire scale, all with no notes missing.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was at a piano, I would show that to you, but I'm not. There is no piano here.
Wow. So that sounds kind of boring if you know that you start on a note, you have to play all the notes that are involved with that scale. But can you mix it up? Can you like go ahead a couple notes and then go back, or do you have to play it from beginning to end?
Well, if you're playing the scale entirely, you don't go back down the scale until you're up on the last note of the scale. But what I mean by chromatic is
somebody
you're playing
has a motorcycle.
When I mean chromatic, I mean every single note in the scale, including the sharps.
Yeah.
So sometimes I would, if I'm doing some scale warm-ups, I wouldn't just play major and minor scales. I would play every note in the scale.
Wow.
Yep. And then play it back down. It's fun to play. In
some ways, that motorcycle is really loud, but...
Let me give you an example of a piece that you could listen to that involves chromatic scales.
Okay.
Flight of the Bumblebee, if you look that one up.
Yeah.
A lot of chromatic scales. And you'll understand what I mean.
Okay, it sounds like that could get boring over time, though.
No, it's not boring.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's difficult at times.
I could see it being difficult, too, but I mean, as a listener, if you know that... Well, I guess if you're just listening, you don't necessarily understand the chromatic scale.
No, chromatic scales are fun to play, and I think they're fun to listen to, really.
We heard this really good flute band last night on Music Planet. Yeah,
it was a flute ensemble. I'm not sure what flutes they were playing, but it sounded to me like it was like 4 or 5 flutes. Like it was maybe a quintet.
Here's a question for you about the flute.
Yeah.
So, you know how guitars have capos?
Yes.
Is there like a flute equivalent to a capo?
I'm sure there's accessories. Like on my flute, there's an extra key called the B-foot key.
Okay.
That's to help you play a low B. And a lot of more high-end flutes have an extra a B-foot key. Now I don't know all there is about accessories because they do have it, because flute players have accessories like flute flags, which are pretty much what you use to clean out your flutes.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I can think of is a B-foot key, unless there's something I'm missing.
How often do you clean your flute out?
I clean it out after every time I play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because you don't want that kind of stuff in there.
Yeah, I guess bacteria could grow, but it could also mess with the sound if you just let it build up.
Yes, and there are times, and this is kind of gross, but I had to do it. There were times where some of my notes weren't coming out, like my low notes.
Yeah. And
I would have to blow on the keys, and some stuff would come out of there. You don't want stuff to build up in there, because that can't be good for the instrument.
Nice. And
there are some people that will let stuff get onto the keys, and it's like, oh, you got to clean this off. It's
Yeah,
gross.
I know a fair amount about the guitar because I play it a little bit, and I know how to, obviously how to de-string and restring a guitar and how to clean it. I personally use lemon oil and like a microfiber cloth with a little bit of lemon oil on it to clean the fretboard between stringing it.
Yeah.
So I'll unstring it, and then before I restring it, I'll clean it off, let it rest for a few minutes, then go back over one or two more times, and that gets a lot of the dirt off, and you can tell a difference.
Yeah, I thought about getting a flute flag because the cool thing about it is when you're cleaning with a regular rod, whether it's metal or plastic, because I've got a plastic one that I clean with, and you put the rag through, you have to take the flute apart, clean out the mouthpiece and the head joint, and clean out the body and the end joint of the flute. But with a flute flag, you can just push it right through and it cleans everything.
That seems like that would be more effective. Are they super pricey or what?
I would imagine they're not very expensive. I have to find one. I was thinking about getting one.
So wait, so that means when I would see you at open mics, you would play the flute and then you would go home and like immediately clean it out.
Oh yeah, if I didn't have time to do that there, I would clean it out.
How long does that process take for you?
Not long.
Okay.
Some people will put a little bit of rubbing alcohol on the mouthpiece. I would just take maybe a disinfectant wipe that wasn't harsh and just dab a little, wipe a little bit on my mouthpiece because you want to have a clean mouthpiece.
Yeah.
It doesn't take very long. Like it's not an arduous process with, lemon oil and stuff like that. But
yeah, but by the way, that's like a couple of times a year when you're restringing a guitar. It's not a daily thing.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you could make it a daily thing, but I'm lazy, so I make it like a once or twice a year thing.
And also, too, I like going to flute fairs because you can find these. Some people sell accessories like that at flute fairs, like I can talk, flute flags, and some other things too.
I remember in the John Popper book, he talked about how when you're a harmonica player, you just got to get used to sharing other people's spit because you're always trading instruments if you're like in a group and jamming out.
Yeah.
He says it just comes with the territory. And I'm wondering from your perspective, when you were a music student and playing with all these people, was it just one of those things where people would like pass their flutes around?
No, usually not.
Really? Okay.
No. It's I personally think it's not sanitary to do that unless you actually need to show somebody how to do something.
Yeah.
But unless, because when my teacher would do that, she would not pass her flute to me, but I would pass my flute to her, and she would show me how to do something on it. Or, the only reason why we would even use flutes or pass flutes around is if we had to, somebody need to use like an alto flute or something.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we didn't pass our own flutes around. People would bring their own. Or they would, or if the teacher had extra flutes, they would borrow it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've shared harmonicas with people.
Yeah.
And so obviously reading that in the John Popper book, I wasn't surprised because he's at a whole. I'm an amateur guitarist. I'm super amateur when it comes to the harmonica. So I wasn't surprised that he did it, and I was just thinking that it might be a similar thing to a flute, but apparently not.
How did people clean harmonicas? Did he explain how he cleans his harmonica?
He didn't really go into that in the book.
Yeah, and there's also a melodica too.
Yeah, the melodica I played that. I don't know.
What is the difference between?
I think we've talked about this here, but basically there's like a tube. It's kind of like, what's that instrument I'm thinking? The keytar, where except there's a tube and you blow into it as you're pressing down the keys, right?
Okay.
And to me, honestly, I felt like if I was going to learn one, I would rather learn the keytar because that would leave my mouth free to do other things.
I don't think I've ever heard a keytar.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, I'm surprised.
What is it?
It's basically what it sounds like. It's a keyboard that's shaped like a guitar, so you can wear it like you would with a guitar if you had a guitar strap.
Oh, No, I've never touched one.
I'm surprised. I've played them before.
Yeah.
Because I know people who have them, but I really suck on the keyboard.
Okay.
So me saying I played it, it's not that impressive.
Okay. Yeah, I knew I didn't know about a melodica until my jazz history teacher, my former jazz history teacher, brought one with him to class.
Yeah.
But I thought it was almost the same thing as a harmonica. But when you explained to me that he had to blow into it and then press keys.
Yeah. By the way, I could see where you would think that, because that's what I would have thought had I not actually played with one. And I'm a little bit biased because the person who let me play with theirs is like one of these guys who owns a lot of instrument and really isn't that proficient in any of them.
I have a feeling I know who that is.
Yeah, but it's possible that if we talk to like a real musical expert, they would say to me, "No, Rick, you're actually wrong. A melodica and a guitar, while they look similar, they play very differently, but you just have to be proficient to know the difference."
Ah.
You know what I mean?
So, okay, so a guitar, is it supposed to sound like a guitar?
No, it's supposed to kind of sound like a mix between... a guitar is supposed to sound like a keyboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know what that is, which surprises me that I don't.
Okay. I've heard a couple people, guitar players, say that if you want to sound unique on that instrument, try to play it like it's a piano or a drum set. Because it's obviously not going to sound the same, but you'll get a different type of sound than most guitar players. And I'm wondering from your perspective, and I know that a guitar is a chordal instrument and a flute is arpeggiated.
It's a melodic instrument.
It's a melodic instrument. I'm sorry. But
okay.
It's, same concept.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, have you ever thought of playing the flute like, let's say, a classical guitar? Because I know that there's a lot of arpeggiation in classical music.
No, I haven't. I mean, flutes can only make variations of classical guitar pieces because classical guitar is so different than classical flute.
Yeah, but it's like the idea of it would make you sound maybe a little bit more unique if you tried to play the flute like it was a different instrument.
I don't know. I've never tried it. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Another flute question for you.
Okay.
Are there like specialized flutes, not specialized, but that can actually play chords? Like it's not the standard, but there's these, specific kinds where you can press the buttons and blow the right way and it'll make like a G chord.
I don't believe there is.
Wow.
If there is, I don't know anything about them. Because flutes were not made to play chords. You can play chords with other flutes.
Yeah.
With a group of flutists, but
not individually.
Not individually, no.
Not even with a specialized one.
No, you can only play arpeggios.
Why do you like the flute better than the oboe?
I've never played the oboe.
Oh, I thought maybe you messed around with it.
No. I've never played a reed instrument. I tried to play the sax, and I've been hearing that if a flutist wanted to transition to learn how to play the sax, it wouldn't be too hard because they have the same fingerings for keys.
Interesting.
But I would have to get used to playing a reed instrument, and I've never done that.
Wow.
Okay. But no, I've known people who played oboes and clarinets.
Nice.
Yeah, they were in my section.
When you were in the
when I was in band, yeah.
Nice.
But I was never interested in playing the oboe, but I'd like to learn about it, but I was never interested in playing the oboe.
But there's never a time when you're hanging out with a friend, or maybe it's even a clarinet, and you said, you know what? Let me try that for a second.
No, I don't know. I don't know that I have actually wanted to try their instrument.
Wow.
But I kind of wish, because when I was in college, I wish that I would have taken advantage of taking a woodwind techniques class, because there are people that are in that class that don't play some of the instruments, like they don't play oboe or they don't play this. And it would be kind of cool. And I think the people that take the class usually want to be band teachers.
Okay.
And they have to know this stuff so that they can teach the students how to play how to play properly on their instrument. And I kind of wish I would have taken it, but then I thought, oh, it's too visual.
When I was around 15 years old, we lived in an apartment, and the guy living next to us was part of the Portland Symphony. Did I ever tell you this?
No, that sounds cool.
I don't even know what
I don't think I did.
Okay, I don't even know what instrument he played because I didn't really know him. But my sister's boyfriend, the one that she was with for like 4 years, and we thought that she was going to get married to him, he became friendly with this guy. And the guy invited him and my sister to the symphony. I don't know if they went or not. Because again, this is years and years and years ago, and I wasn't too interested back then. But I remember I was talking with the boyfriend, and he was saying, oh yeah, that guy doesn't make as much money as you think he does. He has to like really work at it. And I'm sure, obviously, I that makes a lot more sense to the adult version of Rick because I've spent time in the artistic industry, and people don't make what you think they do, generally speaking.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
it's very tough unless you make it to maybe principal chair or.
Here's what I'm wondering from you though.
Yeah.
What do most people end up doing with a musical degree? Do they like join an orchestra and teach musical classes on the side, or
some do that?
Is there like a standard?
No, there isn't a standard. Some people end up not using it, and I don't want to be one of those people.
Yeah.
Some people don't teach, but they end up in ensembles, like in flute choirs, for fun. Some people teach at the collegiate level, and they go on to school and they get their masters or whatever. Some people and I learned early on when I was in college that even the best musicians, the best of the best, the ones that you think could make it, some of them end up not making it in orchestras. And some people that are blind don't end up teaching either. And like you have to, I mean, it's a lot of work. And yeah, I mean, some people don't get paid for their music degrees, but they end up still keeping music in their life. And I've gotten to the point to where I want to keep music around whether I'm paid for it or not.
Now, I'm an asshole. And
Are you?
Well, and here's a joke.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I know you didn't. This is new news to you. And a joke I used to say way before I met my Jaylo is I'm an asshole, but I'm lucky because every girl I date has a shit fetish. But what? This is before I met my Jaylo. Okay. Before Jaylo. You know how there's before Christ? What is that, like BC?
BC.
There's my life. There's BJ. And there's AJ. So there's before Jaylo and after Jaylo.
Oh my.
This is BJ time.
Oh, jeez.
I just realized what that's about. Let me guess. Okay.
I knew that was come.
All right, but so anyways, I'm an asshole and sometimes I say stuff, but my mind goes to when you're talking about that, why get a music degree when I could just read a bunch of books and pick up an instrument if I'm not going to make a living from my degree?
Well, nobody said you had to.
No, but what was your thinking, I guess, would be a better way of phrasing it.
Well, I thought that was something I want to do, and I still think in some ways I want to have that in my life. But I'm not sure what to do with it, is what I'm trying to say. I remember I've kind of come at a crossroads, and I'm trying to figure out, well, do I want to do that or do I want to explore something else? Because I've tried to apply for things, and it's not just tough for blind musicians. It's tough for a lot of musicians. It is not discriminatory.
Life is hard on the player.
A music player. So it's not like I'm the only person that's having a tough time. A lot of people are. And so I don't know. I'm kind of at a crossroads, and I don't know what I want to do with it.
You know how some non-medical fields will have doctorates? Like you can get a doctorate in physics.
An honorary doctorate, right?
Well, you're not technically a doctor, but it shows that you're at an esteemed level. Like I think Stephen Hawking had a doctorate in physics. and a bunch of other people do too. Which I would love to have a doctorate in anything, just so I could be Dr. Rick.
Right.
But I'm wondering, from your perspective, or from your knowledge rather, are there such things as musical doctorates?
If you actually get one.
No, but can you get one, is what I'm saying. Is there a doctorate in the field of music?
Yes, there is. I've had professors that were doctors.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
Yes, I did. I've had professors that got their doctorates, or their PhDs. So yes, it is possible to get one.
All right, now
I don't know if it's I don't know if they got them in education or if they got that in music, because there's a I think she knew something. One of my professors knew something about music therapy.
Okay.
Too. She was working with music therapy students. But yeah, you can get doctorates in music.
Wow, that's really neat.
Yeah.
But then if anybody says that is there a doctor in the house, you can say, I am, and this man is having a heart attack, and be like, well, I'm actually a musical doctor, so can't help you there, bro.
Oh my goodness. Or like a music education or something.
Yeah, I listen to popular music, and not exclusively, obviously. And when I say popular, I mean nothing beyond like really 2005 for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So you hear these musicians like Paul McCartney.
Not McCarthy.
I'm dyslexic.
Okay.
Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, Tupac, P. Diddy, and none of them have music degrees. So I'm wondering, who is the most successful musician you know of who actually went to school for music?
What do you mean? Because there's so many music genres.
It doesn't, out of any genre. So it could be rock, it could be classical.
Well, the one that I know, so I don't know if Alicia Keys went to school for music, but I know that she was a classical, she was classically trained. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that is a good question. I don't know a lot about, because some of these rappers that you just mentioned, some of them were just discovered. And or they didn't have any.
Yeah, or they stole tapes out of the back of their parents' cars and whatnot.
Yeah, so it's almost like they were discovered almost overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they didn't have any training at all. That is a really good question. I have to look into that. I can only speak for like flutists that make a living.
Yeah, you don't have to. Oh, I guess one would be Lizzo, right? She's like a very successful musician who actually went to musical school.
She did. Yeah, I can think of her, yes.
Okay, that's fair.
And I'm sure that there are others, but I just can't, I can't think of any at the moment.
Is that something you spent time considering when you were trying to decide whether or not to go to school for music?
Considering what?
Well, what popular artists do I know of who actually have a music degree?
I did not.
Wow. Do you wish you would have?
No, I was just trying to decide on. I declared a major in music because that was something and I'm still passionate about it, actually. Mm-hmm. And after going through all the rehearsing and the practicing and the rehearsing and the performing and all that, just trying to think of how am I going to implement this.
Wow.
No, and I was trying to get through it because it was hard. It wasn't easy at all. Not by any means did I have an easy peasy time.
Oh.
Because it was so cool to have sighted counterparts, but I was the only blind person in the program.
Yeah, that's got to be difficult.
It's very tough. And my friend, I believe, the one who went to Berkeley, he, I believe, may have been the only blind person in his program.
Now, I have actually, not super well, but I knew somebody who was totally blind who went to the Berkeley School of Music, but it might have been at a different time.
Man or woman?
Man.
Wow.
Yeah. This is in like I want to say like the mid to late 2000s.
Okay, because he went after that.
Okay.
Yeah, he went in after 2000.
And they have a couple of different campuses, right? Like I know Boston, but don't they also have a branch of the school in NYC?
I don't know about that. My friend went to the school in Boston, but that's the only one I know about.
Okay, I might have that part wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. But you did was he a nice guy?
He was a nice guy, and again, he was more like a friend of a friend.
Was he the one that was in a mariachi band you told me about?
No, I don't think that guy has a music degree.
Okay.
He's super nice. By the way, he recently liked a picture I shared of one of our meals.
Which one?
I want to say it was Thanksgiving, but it might have been one before then.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
The Zatarain's one?
Might have been that.
Wow.
The guy's super cool though.
Oh cool.
Yeah.
Oh good.
Yeah.
Wait, did he have some vision?
He does, but I think he has RP.
Oh.
And it's been like 10 years since we've seen each other, so I don't know how bad it is now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, it's cool that he has RP.
No, I said it's cool that he liked our meals.
Oh, good. What? I was just trying to clarify, babe.
Oh my goodness. But no, my friend went to the one in Boston. As far as I know, it's the only campus I know about.
Nice.
And it's hard to get in.
This is a dumb question.
Yeah.
Why is the Berklee School of Music in Boston and not in Berkeley, California?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
But is that something you thought of? Because isn't that a little bit confusing? Because Berkeley, California is a music, not a music, but a university town from what I understand.
Well, the only college I know that's in Berkeley is UC Berkeley.
Yeah.
But I don't, and I'm sure they probably have a college of music in the school, but I don't know why.
Okay, interesting.
Do not ask me because I don't know.
Okay, so there's the Grammys, which everybody knows about.
The Grammys, yes.
But I'm wondering, what are the other big awards in music that aren't necessarily that known by the mainstream?
Well, I know for Christian artists, there's the Dove Awards, and a lot of people know about that. But
okay.
Grammys, I don't know. That's a good question. Grammys are like for rappers.
Yeah, it's like the top. It's kind of like it's the Oscars of music.
Well, then you got
even
the
though the
Billboards.
Oscars gives
you got
away
the Billboards
Oscars.
too. The Billboard Music Awards. Too.
Yeah, but I mean, is there anything like in the classical world or in the flute world? Like you didn't get a flute Grammy, but you got like the flute equivalent of like the Golden Globes. Or something.
I don't know. That's something I need to look into because I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I had this interesting thought in my head when I was a music student in college.
Go ahead.
Because my program was very performance based, which really pushed me to be a better performer and to prepare for it. And I was thinking about all of the talent shows that I like watching at the time. Like I used to watch American Idol. I used to watch X Factor at sometimes. And I was thinking, hey, wouldn't that be interesting if there was like a talent show, a talent contest called Instrumental Idol or like Classical Music Idol where you get a bunch of students and they play for professors and their peers critique them and the professors critique them too.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was just something that I thought about when I was in college. I'm like, this reminds me of a this almost reminds me of a talent show. Like sometimes people would say like if they were playing a piece singing a piece on the show American Idol, for example, they would say, you want to make your song your own and your voice sounded a little bit, sometimes I'll use the word tinny to describe pitchiness. It's a little bit tinny, or you were flat in this area and I think you should work on that, and then you got the really cutthroat critic Simon Cowell that will say it was awful, it was like a nightmare, and which he kind of reminded me of my former flute professor at one time. So I was wondering if music programs are kind of like talent shows in some
Maybe
ways.
it's possible.
The way that my professors critiqued in the more casual performance situations.
Yeah.
We used to call them studio encounters. That was another way that we were critiqued. Where our peers critiqued us, and our instead of our Well, our peers and professors did, but it was more casual.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought about that.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Is there anybody who I know there's obviously people who play flute and other instruments.
Yes.
But is there anybody who can, like, let's say, play the flute and the piano at the same time?
No.
Okay.
Because you have to use both of your hands for both instruments.
Well, not necessarily with the piano, depending on what you're playing. Now, I imagine you'd have to play something kind of simple.
Yeah, you can't do that. Well,
Okay.
unless you play maybe in a conventional technique that would let you let go of the piano, but usually you don't.
And you need both hands for the flute.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
Huh.
Yeah.
See, I'm learning here, babes.
Yeah.
My knowledge base is growing there.
Well, I hope I taught you something.
Another question for you.
Yes.
You don't regret learning the flute.
Not at all.
But do you ever wish that you played a different type of flute?
No.
Okay, why not?
And I think it's because unfortunately, I'm not well versed in other flutes. Like, I played a little bit of alto flute, and that was really hard because I have small hands, as you know. My little hands. Little hands. I'd like to learn the piccolo. I don't have one. But I don't think it would be too hard to transition from my concert flute to a piccolo, because all you have to do is position your change your lip position.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, I don't think I don't wish that I have played a different flute. No.
What's the history of the flute? How did it come to be?
Well, from what I understand, and we can go on and on, but we really need to talk about other stuff.
Oh, yeah, I'm interested in this stuff.
But when I was doing history on an Irish flute, and I guess the first flute was like a tube with holes.
How long ago?
I don't remember. It was a long, long time ago.
Like over 1,000 years ago?
I couldn't tell you. I don't remember.
Why did they play them? Was it like a battle hymn that they would do on them? Was it to party after killing people or what?
I don't. It's hard to say.
What were they made out of? The original.
I think it was tubing.
Oh wow. Okay, so it's kind of like a didgeridoo with holes on the side, then, or what?
Well, I don't remember how the mouthpieces were, and I don't know. I've never played a didgeridoo. I knew someone who did play.
I played the didgeridoo.
Are the mouthpieces turned upwards, or were they cross? Did you have to play across it?
Well, I think you just put your mouth over it. So like the didgeridoo is a very like versatile instrument. Mm-hmm. Some of them are very rudimentary. And I played one that a friend of mine made. And it was just kind of like it was almost like what do I want to say? What's the word it's almost like a pipe that you just put your mouth over and blow into. Now, it's possible that my friend just made a very rudimentary one.
Yeah.
But my friend is a musical person. It's not, just...
Do I know this person? No?
Well, actually, I've played two from two different friends, and you know one of them. But the other one was way back in the day when I lived in Hawaii. Oh. And I only played that one very quickly, and I might have been on something. But the one I played here in Portland, like 8 years ago, I was sober.
But he's the one. But your friend here made it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Out of what?
Out of like, oh God, what was it? You know what? I don't even remember.
Wow.
I'll have to ask him.
Yeah. So the one thing I remember is that it used to be a tube with holes in it.
Yeah.
And I was doing a paper on the Irish flute, and I wonder if I can find it. But it was interesting stuff, and I got to talk with this guy. So I ended up going to this Irish pub, and normally I wouldn't do that, but it was for an assignment. So I had a bowl of Irish stew, which was very good, but it may not have been Irish. It was really good. But I like it. It was good.
Nice.
And so my friend dropped me off. I listened to some Irish music, and there was some Irish dancing, and I thought that was cool. My teacher knew that I was going to go. And so she knew the guy that was performing, and she made sure that he got to talk to me because I introduced myself before they started playing.
Nice.
And then he was explaining to me about, I think in Irish I think it's pronounced Uilleann pipes, but some people say Uilleann pipes or whatever. I think it's what it's supposed to be, but I think it's supposed to be pronounced Uilleann pipes. But it was kind of confusing because he was motioning and he was trying to explain to me what it was, and I only had a few. I only had a limited time there, and I talked to 2 other flutists that were really nice ladies, and it was a good time. I had a good time talking to those people.
Joseph Campbell talks a lot about myth, and I know we've discussed him here before.
Who's Joseph Campbell?
He was this like expert, a professor, and he talked a lot about mythology and how it relates to our everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about him fairly recently in his interview with Bill Moyers.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of well known. But for example, he would talk about, okay, so in the Bible, there's the story of the Great Flood, and then you also have the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Mm-hmm.
So why do these flood stories, for example, keep coming up in different forms of mythology? And I guess the reason I'm asking you that is the Irish flute appears at a certain time in world history. And I'm wondering from you, are there different... Okay, but let me try.
Okay.
Are there different parts of the world that started developing flute-like instruments around the same period of time? Or was a version of the flute introduced to the Irish and they just sort of did their own take on it?
I think it seemed to me like they did their own take on it because some Irish flutes can be also considered like other flutes, like tin whistles.
Yeah,
can be considered an Irish flute.
Okay, so somebody might have introduced it to their culture.
It's possible. Like I said, it's been a while since I visited that paper because it's probably somewhere on my laptops.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But it was a very fun assignment to do. I had an interest, this was a part of my, one of my global music studies. And since I was studying the flute already, I thought, oh, why don't I do a paper on the Irish flute? I think it'd be really fun. And my teacher just happened to know the Irish performer.
Nice.
Very nice man. So I thought it was good.
Well, good.
Yes.
Well, Jaylo, I'm glad you know a little bit about musical history there, babes.
And if I don't remember, I mean, I should initially do another search on Gregorian chant to kind of refresh my memory about things that I put in my paper, because I think it would be interesting.
Yeah, I hear you. That might be good.
Reading a book on a Gregorian chant, yeah.
Or even just watching some YouTube videos on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think music history is so fascinating to me.
It is.
It is.
Yes. Hopefully maybe one day Graham Hancock will do a book on musical history. But who knows?
Yeah.
Jaylo.
Yep.
Speaking of music.
Yep.
Well, maybe before we get there.
Yeah.
We made some fudge yesterday.
It was fun.
It was fudging awesome.
It was fudging awesome.
Yes.
It was fudging fun. Anyway.
Fudge, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead, babes.
How corny.
Oh,
anyway, so we put one whole bag of chocolate chips with half of the other bag.
Yep.
And I'm going to give that one to you.
Thank you.
Because I don't eat chocolate chips by themselves.
Okay.
You can make them into cookies or something. And then we put in a sweetened condensed milk, butter. We decided to melt everything in my oven.
Yep.
And then the special ingredient was cream cheese.
It was really good.
It was so good. Like I thought it was going to taste very rich, and it was.
When we first take it out of the oven and I'm mixing everything together, it almost had a mellowy. I can't pronounce it.
Mellowy.
Yeah.
Marshmallowy taste.
Said to it.
Yes, it did. And then you added a little bit of vanilla extract, which I thought, oh, that's a good idea.
Good to have that Nella in there.
Yeah, and when you said, oh, we don't have vanilla extract, I said, oh, yeah, I have some.
Oh.
I haven't used it in a while. So you put a little bit of that in there, and it just brought the flavors out.
Yes, it did.
It was really good.
Yes.
And then we put that thing in the freezer. And it was for about a couple hours, and then you took it out and put it in the fridge.
While we're doing this, I played for you the episode of Afropop that I thought was Afropop Worldwide. I thought was about the tunnel people.
Yeah.
But apparently it wasn't exactly. It was about some dude who rode on the subway.
Yes.
And was playing his music.
I believe his name was Papa Farah.
Mm-hmm.
And he was playing like this instrument. I guess it was an African instrument. I don't remember what it was called. But he was really good.
You know, when you were in the shower this morning, babes, I was watching a YouTube video, and it was a Mortal Technique talking about the differences between the homeless population in LA versus New York. Or at least that's what I was led to believe by the title of the video.
Yeah.
He's talking to some dude, and he tells a story about... he said that there's a documentary that he thinks is called The Mole Men, about people who live in the tunnel system.
The Mole Men, okay.
That's kind of older. I would like to watch something like that. But he said that, like, back in the day before he was this huge famous rap star,
yeah,
he was hanging out with a bunch of friends of his. And they see this guy who looks like very dirty and whatnot. But Immortal Technique is interested. So he goes up to the guy and he says, "Hey, where are you from?" And guy tells him the story about how he lives underground in New York. And he comes up to work during the day, and his wife and him, just kind of live their lives. And Immortal Technique said that really made him feel bad, because here's this grimy dude who's already got things kind of together. Like, he has a job, he has a wife who loves him. And Immortal Technique is just like, spitting rhymes with this crew.
And he lives underground in a dirty part of the city.
Yeah, he didn't quite. Basically, yeah. I'm interested in that stuff, babes. I'm interested in like underground mansions. There's got to be some, right?
Underground mansions.
Yeah, there's got to be. I've heard stories about bunkers for rich people who want to survive the apocalypse, and these bunkers are like super tricked out. But nobody really lives in them right now. I'm thinking of more. I heard there was a YouTube video about an abandoned underground place where people are supposed to go to, like bunker, and that they've tricked it out. But I don't know if anybody actually bought that and lives there. I think that would be kind of cool.
Wow.
To have your own underground mansion.
It's a little bit strange, but okay.
Yeah.
As long as it was actually in an area that could be turned into a nicer area, because I don't like the idea of living underground.
Oh?
Yeah. I like to actually be around people.
Well, you can come up during the day.
Oh, my.
Chill out with the homies and go home.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
What
yeah,
does
we're going
it
to go
mean
under
to be
now.
underground?
Okay.
You know who did that song?
No.
KRS-One.
Okay.
Okay, like, Bob, I only...
So he was singing about underground life?
He was singing about rappers.
Oh, okay.
KRS-One.
Not underground people.
Yeah. It's gotta be free to be underground. Anyways.
But taking that underground tour of Seattle was kind of interesting.
That does sound really cool.
Yeah. I'm glad we didn't run into rats in there.
I know that there's like underground tunnels in Chinatown here in Portland, but I've never explored them.
Wow.
Yes. But babes.
Yeah.
After we listened to that episode of Afropop Worldwide, did you like that?
I did. It was a short episode.
Yeah. We then listened to Take the Floor.
No, we didn't. We listened to wait. Did we listen to Take the Floor before Music Planet? Oh, we did. Okay.
And then we switched over to Music Planet.
Okay.
And then my little Jaylo, in the midst of listening to Music Planet, I believe.
Yeah.
Bought us some Panda Express.
That's right.
Yes.
I was hungry from some Chinese food. You were hungry from some Chinese food. I had problems selecting stuff.
Yep.
Because I don't know why they did that, but I hope they fix that glitch. So you had to triple tap on the thing, right?
That's what it was like when I tried to do it. Yeah, and that works.
Okay.
But I'm white and Alana's from white America, so we had like the white version of Chinese food.
Bubs.
We did. It's not like super authentic, babes.
I'm from white America?
Yeah, aren't you?
What do you mean?
You grew up around white people.
I did grow up around white people, but I
That's not something I'm proud of, babes.
Bubs, you are a white person.
Yeah.
Or at least partly.
Partly and partly Filipino.
No.
Okay.
I grew up around a lot of Asians, Bubs.
Oh, good. Ouch! What was that for?
You.
Well, then this is for you.
Oh.
Hey, this is for you. Hey, this is for you.
What are you talking about?
Give me a kiss. Let's end the tickle now.
Okay. What we're trying to say, or what Rick was trying to say, but not in a very good way, that it obviously isn't authentically Chinese, but it was good enough for us.
It was close enough.
It's close.
It's not real Chinese, but we call it that here in America.
It's good.
Yeah, it's more Polynesian and
it's American
inspired.
It's
American Chinese. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. We enjoyed it. I like Panda Express. My one complaint was everything was a bit wet when we got it.
That's the only thing I would complain about too. But
hopefully it wasn't urine or...
No, I think it was just the sauces.
Yeah.
I don't think it... I mean, if it was urine, we would know, don't you think? We would throw it out. We would throw it out and never eat it.
Yes.
Or we would throw it out and wait a while before we ordered from there again.
So...
Anywho.
We eat our food, and my little Jaylo wanted to watch The Best Years of Our Lives, which I was down to do. Because I've tried to suggest this movie to you in the past when it was on HBO Max, but it wasn't there, and I'm thinking, I gotta rent this movie.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay this money. I go and do a Hail Mary pass on my blind audio website of choice, and they have it there.
And it was audio described.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
Yes. My only complaint was the audio describer was really good, but the mix was a little bit off.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Because there were times where we had to turn the volume up, and the guy was great, but it wasn't as clear as we would want.
I think that's more the fault of the engineer than him, though.
I know. But he was good.
Yeah. Tell me about this movie.
Okay. So the basic premise was there's 3 GIs that came back. There's Fred, there's Al, there's Fred Derry, Al Stevenson, and Homer. I don't remember what his last name is.
Simpson?
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. He has a girlfriend named Wilma. Wilma!
Hey, shouldn't she have been with Fred?
Hey, where's Pebbly Poo?
Pebbly Poo, as I touch your nose.
Why are you squeezing my nose?
I don't know, because that's what you smell poo with.
No.
That's what you smell.
I do,
with.
but... no, but he called her Pebbly Poo.
All right.
Pebbles.
Anyways, back to this movie.
So anyway, Homer is physically disabled because he had his hands burned off. And he has hooks for hands now, which sounds like it would be very, very complicated to use. And Al Stevenson is married to his wife Millie, and they've got 2 kids.
Yep.
And then Fred Derry was an ex-sergeant.
And he's living with the fam.
He is living with his he's living with his parents, but his wife Marie moves out and gets gets a job at a nightclub.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
And I thought, who's Marie? And I thought maybe Marie was his sister, but that's his wife.
Yeah. So I will shut up and let you describe this.
Okay. I won't go too far into it, but Homer is met with joy and sadness from his parents, especially his mom, because his mom doesn't know how to handle seeing Homer without his hands anymore. His dad is very helpful. It seems to me like his parents do the best they can for him, but he is the kind of person that's like, I want to do this by myself. I don't need any help from anybody, and I just want to be treated like anybody else. He's thinking Wilma's going to leave him, but Wilma decides that she doesn't care about the fact that he lost his hands. All she cares about is that he's home safe and that she wants to marry him. I mean, a very dedicated woman, and I liked their interaction with each other. Fred goes home and sees his wife Marie, and she seems very happy, but she also is thinking that, ooh, my husband's back from the army and I get to spend all his money because he made all this money. And she's like wants to be a gold digging socialite, pretty much.
Yeah.
Not a very nice woman and very into herself. Then you've got Al Stevenson, who doesn't recognize his kids because they're growing up. I think one's in high school and the other one is in her 20s. And for all intents and purposes, it seems like Al and Millie have a very good marriage, even though they had to work at it. Now, Al and Millie and Peggy decide to go out for drinks because I guess Peggy is old enough to have some drinks, or maybe she doesn't drink. But Fred gets, they see Fred there and they go to this place called Butch's Place. And that's like the popular place for military men go to. It's like a piano bar, and I guess it could be made into a family venue too.
Probably maybe during the day.
During the day.
I know that some places are bars at night, but during the day you can have your family there to eat and whatnot.
Exactly. Like kind of like the places that we've been to.
Yeah.
Which I do appreciate.
Thank you.
So anyway, they're dealing with their problems. Fred gets super sticky drunk. Very, very drunk. And he starts to make eyes at Peggy. And Peggy's not sure how to deal with it. But she makes sure that everything's okay with him. Well, he couldn't find... They tried to drop him off at home and he couldn't find his door. And this, of course, is before... I'm sorry, I'm kind of going backwards. This is before he meets up with Marie, because they couldn't find out where she was.
Yeah, I mean, they'd obviously been married before he went to the war.
Yeah.
But, they hadn't seen each other in a minute, and he wants to, have some fun. Keep going, babe. I'm listening.
Okay. Today. Anyway, so he... They realize that he's so drunk he can't find where his apartment is because he doesn't even know where she is. So they take him back to their house. Peggy makes sure that he's covered with a blanket and tucked into bed and all that because he's really, really drunk, and so is her own dad.
Mm-hmm.
He's drunk too, but not quite as drunk as Fred. Things go on. I'm kind of skipping over because it's a very long movie. Fred and Al and, I don't know about Homer, but Fred and Al are trying to get jobs. Al is working for a bank, correct?
Yes.
Fred is trying to get some jobs, and I think he finds a job as a soda jerk at this place.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets fired because he punches out a guy for saying that the Germans, the Japanese were in the right, and the Americans should not have fought them, which I think is ridiculous.
I do too.
Yeah, because they did some damage to us. And so, well, the Nazis did. The German Nazis did, and the Japanese, yes. But so he said, well, I get fired because the customer is wrong.
Yes.
Usually the customer is right, but I get fired because the customer is wrong. And I get where he's coming from. And so he starts seeing Peggy, or at least he tried to that one day. He kissed her and all that. Finds out his wife is cheating on him. He decides to pack up his suitcase and leaves his parents' house. And they're like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And he's like, "Yeah." He gets out of there, and where does he go to?
The bus station. No, I'm sorry, the airport.
He goes to the airport and hangs out in one of those airplanes. And it's a broken down airplane. It's crashed. And I think he's remembering how it was being a sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
They find him there and he says, "Look, I'm looking for a job. Anybody have any use for me?" And he then, the guy that he talks to, introduces him to some guy named Gus, and he says, you have any use for him?" It's like, "I think so." So he ends up working at an airport or trying to get a job at an airport.
Well, I think they're actually breaking down these old planes to
breaking down
turn
these
them
planes,
into
yeah.
housing.
It's turning him to. That's right. I'm sorry.
That's
turning
right.
him into housing.
Mhm.
So he ends up joining them. It's implied. He comes back. Al is now doing well at this bank. I think it is, right?
Yeah.
Yes. He's doing well at the bank.
But he is on thin ice. But
and
he's
on
well.
thin ice, but he's trying to make it work.
Mhm.
And they find out that Peggy and Fred are in love with each other, but they don't want Peggy to do anything with Fred because they don't, he's still married. And this is actually before Marie says he's leaving him. Well, all this happens. He gets a job at the airport. He comes back. Homer and Wilma are getting ready for their wedding at Butch's place. And Butch seems like a really cool guy, actually.
Yeah.
He does that thing with Homer with chopsticks.
Mhm.
I'm wondering if... I don't think that guy is alive anymore, the one who played Homer, so...
I don't know if any of the
I
people
don't
in this
even know if
movie is
they're
alive
alive at
because
all.
it's been like 76 years since this movie came out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Way before our time. Anyway, so Wilma and Homer pledge their love to each other and they are married. And as soon as they get married, Fred and Peggy begin their relationship.
Yes.
And Al and Millie are eventually accepting it. It's implied that they accept it.
Mhm.
And I'm guessing that Peggy found out that he was divorced.
Yes.
So thus begins a relationship, and that's how it ended.
This was a really good movie.
It was very good.
Till the End of Time is a good film too. I did like The Best Years of Our Life better.
I did too, and I thought that this would be a different perspective on military veterans coming home.
Yeah.
And it seemed more real, like that could really happen. If I thought of it like my realistic wick would.
Yes. I like that both movies we watched about World War II this weekend had people with disabilities in them. Now, I know that they were probably played by able-bodied actors.
Yeah.
But back then, if you saw a person with a disability in a film,
Yep.
usually they were like begging for change
Yep.
or, they were sterilized or something like
Yes,
that. But
yes.
these are people trying to adjust to life, but they're pretty regular, all things considered.
And Homer to me seemed like this could really happen to any guy.
Yes.
Like he didn't want anyone to feel sorry for him. He was dropping glasses. He was trying to pick things up and do normal things. And then there's a scene where he shows Wilma in his room.
That's a great scene.
Yeah. He takes off his hooks and shows her the studs, and it's like, well, I can do this and I can do this, and then he takes off his hooks and he's like, and then after that I can't close the door, I can't take my clothes off, and I'm gonna have to ask, or I can't do anything else, and I have to ask somebody for help.
Mm-hmm.
And then he puts his pajama top on, she buttons it, she smooths his collar, and I'm guessing that she puts his hooks back on.
That's my assumption. They didn't mention
know.
that in the description, but I think you're right.
But the fact that she would say, I don't care if, you have a disability, I'm willing to be with you for the long haul. It really touched me. It really did.
Me too.
A lot of people, if they were married, some of them wouldn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And since they were not even married yet, she was willing to marry him regardless of that.
Yeah,
and
but
it really touched me a lot.
It was really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder what it must have been like being a soldier in World War II, coming home, and then a year later going to see this film.
Yeah. Well, and I also have to mention when Homer was telling her to, I want you to have a good life. I want you to forget about me. And as much as he tried to plead with her, she said no.
Yep.
And then he said, I love you, Wilma, and I always will. And I'm like, oh, it was so touching.
Yes.
Yes. What?
Oh, no, go ahead.
And the Fred and Peggy situation was very complicated. And when she said that she decided she was thinking about breaking up the marriage, and how the dad and the mom were trying to speak some sense into her, it's like, so what are you thinking about doing?
Yeah.
You're trying. You think that this is going to be good. You're trying to break up a marriage. You don't even know. She didn't even know his wife, and she wasn't thinking clearly. But oh wait, she did meet his wife. That's right, in the bathroom, and she's like, he hates her, and she's no good for him, and all she cares about is his money, and she's just not good. And they're thinking, well, maybe she isn't, but do you think this is a good idea to break somebody's marriage apart?
Yeah. I enjoyed this film a lot.
I did too.
I think it either won for Best Picture or got a Best Picture nomination at the Oscars.
So good.
Very highly acclaimed film. I've known about it for a long time.
Yeah.
But obviously last night was the first time I actually sat down and saw it with you.
Yeah. It was very enjoyable. It really makes you think about it. I thought it was a real portrayal of veterans, and now they have the Wounded Warrior Project that helps veterans. But they're actually going to deal with their problems and not keep it swept under the rug.
I wonder how much seeing this movie helped ex-soldiers, because especially men of that generation didn't really like to talk that much.
Yeah.
And I'm not naive enough to think that seeing a 3-hour movie changed their lives for the better by itself. But maybe it opened some soldiers to the idea of it's okay to talk with certain people about my experiences in the war.
Yeah. Now, having come from a very, very strong military family, I've never once asked any of them to talk about it with me, because I just thought, well, in their own time, I'm sure they experienced a lot of trauma.
Yeah, they probably don't want to dredge it up.
No.
But there's a difference between talking about it with civilians like us and speaking about it with maybe a military psychologist who perhaps may have served in the war as well, or doing like a group therapy session. I still think that didn't happen a lot back then or in Vietnam, but maybe it happened a little bit more than it would have had it not been for this movie or for Till the End of Time.
Yeah. In a lot of, I've never met like really old soldiers that actually served in the well, actually I've met someone that served in the Korean War.
Yeah.
But by then his mind was failing him.
Oh.
But he still remembered the Korean War.
Wow.
But I also never met anybody that was in the Vietnam War in person or...
I have.
Okay. I'd like to talk to an old military veteran, but I think it's good to let them tell their own story in their own time.
Absolutely.
Not to force it out of them.
I'm sure you have met people who served in the Vietnam War and you just didn't know it because, again, people don't really talk about it.
Yeah. But I'd love to meet more of those older veterans, because they could teach us so much about how to be really tough when you needed to be. And how you when you were given a moment's notice to act and learned how to act on somebody else's behalf.
There's that scene near the end of the movie where Fred's father is looking at his son's accommodations. That's really interesting to me. I like that
his
scene.
Accomplishments.
I think they're accommodations, though, that he received from being in the war.
Yeah, they were awards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, wow, I don't want to throw this away. Because... he told him, he said, we will treasure them, because he was thinking about throwing them away.
Yeah, a lot of men who go to war don't really like talking about it, but they don't even like talking about the accomplishments they achieved, which is super interesting to me. I could see maybe the death and destruction you don't want to revisit, but not wanting to discuss, well, yeah, I was a war hero and I got these accommodations, but... Yeah. I guess war does that to you.
But there are some men that are, I would imagine, ashamed because some of them are dishonorably discharged.
Well, maybe it's not even that. Maybe they're ashamed because you did the right thing, but people died.
Yeah.
And not just people on the other side, but there's also survivor's guilt that must come along with
Right.
that.
A major loss, and especially if one of the people who died was a really good friend of theirs.
Or even not, if it's just somebody they met.
Yeah, and then, and they talk about soldiers getting tags.
Yeah.
And keeping their dog tags. Yeah. It's a sad thing.
It is.
And soldiers have talked about losing dogs.
Yeah.
Or they talk about receiving dogs, and the dogs have helped them after they've gone through war.
Yep.
And how they've really helped them to deal with their PTSD. And I love those stories.
They're good.
I love those.
Did we discuss what I watched last afternoon when you and I were on the couch and you were kind of playing with your iPad?
What's that?
There was this story from 60 Minutes. They have the segment they do on YouTube called 60 Minutes Rewind.
Yeah.
But instead of like showing really old stories from the 60s, which I think they should do, they usually show stories from like the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really get that. But one of the stories was about this border collie. And he's owned by she's owned by this retired professor who spends like 6 hours a day training her on different subjects. So if you say to this border collie, I think the dog's name was like Chasen. If you say, Chasen, go and get the, Star Trek toy out of your toy pile.
Yeah.
She'll actually know what the Star Trek toy is.
Oh, wow.
Or if you say, Chasen, I want you to jump on one leg or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there's this cognitive test that a lot of animals fail.
Yeah.
Where you can put a cup over, let's say, a dog toy.
Yep.
If you have 2 cups in your hand and you have a dog, the dog will go to the right cup. But if you do a similar test with like a chimpanzee,
they won't do it.
They won't be able to get it right most of the time.
Wait a minute, you said the dog failed that test.
No, the chimpanzee failed the test.
Okay, because you said it backwards.
Oh, I'm dyslexic. But I'm glad you corrected me.
Yeah.
And now they're starting to do brain scans on different dogs to see their level of intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
The professor who owns Chasen thinks that her level of intelligence is that of a 2-year-old, which doesn't sound that impressive.
Right.
But when you realize that most dogs aren't at that level, it's really, pretty big accomplishment.
I heard that dogs are generally smart depending on who is training them, right?
Yeah.
But they have but in generally speaking, you usually talk to dogs as if they were 2-year-olds because that's the way that they think.
Yeah, and the professor speculates that Chasen can understand, I think, 900 words. Which is pretty good for a dog.
That is good.
I think they thought that the most a dog could learn was 300.
Wow.
Yeah, but he spends a lot of time training this dog, and the dog's probably dead now.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And she was a smaller dog?
A border collie, I think.
Border collies, I think, are small dogs,
I think
right?
they're average size.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cute. Very cute.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's a little bit about dogs.
Yeah, and I've heard that dogs really help veterans tremendously when they're dealing with losses of maybe even with limbs most likely, or just their PTSD.
That's right, babes.
Yeah, I think it's amazing how they can do that.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Does this... Well, let me not ask that. Well, does this movie make you want to see more films about World War II or about the Army?
I want to see older ones, like really older ones, just to see how they handled it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to watch ones that are modern, but we already know how some of them handle it that way.
Exactly.
Because some of them get, some of them really, really, really talk to people, but they act in anger. They either act in anger or they have nightmares. But I'm interested in learning about how older men, or how men handle it early on in those years.
I agree with you, babes.
Yeah.
What would you give this film on a scale from 1 to 10?
Oh, I'd give it a strong 8.
I would agree.
I would give it a strong 8. That was an amazing film.
Yes.
I would absolutely.
I would say it's the best movie we saw this weekend.
Yes, I would agree, and I definitely would recommend it to all my family members, especially the ones that were veterans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm sure that they would definitely could relate to these guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Really good film there, Jaylo.
Really good film there, Bobby.
Okay, afterwards, I threw out a bunch of suggestions of movies we should watch, some great films, and I was like, no Bobs. And so I go on different websites. I'm reading what lists, movies off to her, and she's just like, no. This goes on for a half hour or so. Like, it's getting late. We got to find something. I read you the title, Under the Yumm Tree. Like, oh, maybe. We look on IMDb. Now, here's the thing. If I had my druthers, I know you actually do need to watch some bad movies.
Yeah.
And the reason is, if you only watch good movies, you have nothing else to compare it to.
Yes.
Right. So you actually do need some bad movies in your cinematic diet.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that this is a bad movie. It's not my favorite film, though.
No, it's not my favorite film, but there was a lot of funny things in it.
But I have a thing with you to where, like, I think that we should only be watching films that could possibly be rated a 7.5 or higher on a scale from 1 to 10.
Uh-huh.
And so when I hear that this film has a 6 rating on IMDb, I'm thinking we can't watch this film, especially after last night when we saw The Road to Bali.
And there were some funny things, but you guys already know
Yeah.
what we thought about it.
But Jaylo was like, Bob, I can get you going, okay.
Well, I didn't even know what a Yumm Tree was. I wasn't sure what they were talking about, and it sounded intriguing to me. So
I'm like, are you sure you really want to do this? I go, why? I'm like, yuck.
I said, if it's I didn't say it like that.
Well,
I didn't talk like that. I said, if it's a flop, it's a flop, but at least we know it's a flop.
You were debating between that one and Legally Blonde.
And I thought, well, I've seen Legally Blonde. I thought
I have not.
I personally thought it was funny, and I thought Reese Witherspoon was funny in the movie. I wasn't sure if you were going to like it, but I liked it. I didn't have to watch it.
Okay, let me ask you a question, because I haven't seen Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
Having watched both films, which one do you think is better?
It's different, though. I can't rate it.
Okay.
Okay, Legally Blonde is a total chick flick.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm biased because I am a chick.
Yeah, that's your opinion.
But I liked it. And it is kind of a revenge film because she gets revenge on her ex-boyfriend.
Oh, see, I love revenge films. But
I love
revenge films where somebody's like tortured for an hour and a half.
No, but she's funny in this movie. It's a fun movie. A lot of people like it. Now, granted, I think that one's better, but maybe it's because I'm biased because I've seen it a lot of times. But Under the Yumm Tree is a fun movie too.
We do need to have a revenge weekend at some point where we just watch like Hard Candy, Death Wish.
Okay.
I guess Legally Blonde makes the list. I don't know about Rambo. I mean, Rambo's kind of a revenge film, but it's really a PTSD film. I'm talking about the first one. PTSD film.
PTSD film, yeah.
That's what I just said, in a lot of ways. So I don't know if it's really a revenge film, but we could...
I'm not interested in Rambo. I mean, I know a lot of people liked it, but a guy like running around going on a shooting rampage does not sound like an hour and a half I want to spend.
Oh.
It just sounds too much like a movie that a guy would like to see.
You know what's a fun revenge movie?
We're going to get off track here, Bubs.
And I blame you for that, but real quick.
What?
I watched it at the beginning of the pandemic, and I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. It's not the deepest film in the world.
Okay.
But I really did enjoy the first John Wick movie.
Oh, you told me about that.
That was a lot of fun.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, Netflix is going to do a TV series about the hotel where they all go to in the films.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the sequels yet, but I want to. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Was Kill Bill a revenge movie too?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
we can watch that sometimes. Now there's a lot of subtitles, but they have both Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 in audio description.
Oh.
So we could do that.
Oh.
I personally think Pulp Fiction is better, but if we want a revenge movie night. So do you want to do, Biggs?
Bubs.
Hold on.
We're getting off track here.
And I blame you, but we'll get back to it after this last question. Would you be interested, darling, in next weekend we do Hard Candy and Death Wish 1 on Friday, and on Saturday we do Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2.
I don't know. Well, I was thinking about other movies we can do, like the Disaster Artist, and
Oh, that's a possibility.
well, let me think about it. I don't know if I want to have a revenge weekend after Thanksgiving weekend. But let me think about it. I'll get back to you.
Philosophically, you could look at it like it's before Thanksgiving weekend because it's before the one that's coming up in 2023. So we almost watched The Disaster Artist this weekend because I have access to Paramount Plus from a friend of mine. But you need like an additional service to watch it there.
Ew.
Having said that, I could track down a copy for next weekend.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised you don't have one.
I am too. I have a copy of the book. The book is amazing. And the movie's not as good as the book, but it's really good.
And you said that the book was really funny.
Yeah, I do think you'd like the movie, though.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Oh, anyways, so we should probably get to Under the Yumm Tree.
Yeah. I just want to say before we start this analysis, or synopsis rather, the girl in the movie, her name is Robin, I think she's really dumb.
I would agree with you.
I just was like, what? Yeah, she doesn't have the best ideas in the world, but anyway, let's start.
Okay. There's this couple, Robin and...
David.
And Robin wants to practice living with David before getting married, but she doesn't want to, have sex with him.
She doesn't want to have sex with him at all.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's a great idea. We can live together and not sleep
Not
together.
do it. Yeah.
And then, it was a bad idea from the start. I would even say that.
Yes. Her aunt is moving out of an apartment that's really nice.
Aunt Irene.
And it costs $75 a month. This was in 1963.
Which right now, if an apartment was that nice and cost $75 a month, I'd move there.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
But then you have to deal with the landlord, who is played by Jack Lemmon.
A very sleazy landlord.
We get the sense that his family left him a fair amount of resources, so he doesn't have to work that hard in life.
Yeah.
Most of his tenants are young, attractive girls who maybe pay the rent in alternative ways, shall we say.
Alternative transactions.
Yes.
Including Irene.
Okay. Robin moves in, and she gives a spill.
Well, you're forgetting though. Irene.
Are we giving every detail? But you gotta tell this one.
No. Oh, wait. You did talk about Irene moving in. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go on.
She gives a spiel about how she has this other roommate, but it's a tall, dark, person and whatnot. And of course, we know that that's a setup for your man to move in.
Yeah, her aunt doesn't know this, and the landlord doesn't either.
I thought the aunt did, because he talked to the aunt.
Well, the aunt had an idea that something was going on, but she didn't know the whole story.
All right, so then your man,
David
moves in. And Jack Lemmon isn't too happy. Neither is David, because they get ready for bed one night. He has to take the couch.
And she's in her bedroom.
Robin is in the bedroom, and you can see the silhouette of her undressing. And Jack Lemmon, perv that his character is trying to spy on them.
And he's trying to get this listening device, and the cat this cat is annoying him, and
he sneaks into the apartment at one point. He goes in there. It's late at night. They kindly get him out. The next day, goes to see your man David, and basically says, you gotta be ready for tonight. You really gotta work out hard. So,
and I just wanted to say that the name of the landlord is Hogan.
Yeah. And later on, he had a family, and they had a house that burned down. Okay.
Different one.
Yeah. Didn't that house burn down on the Hogan family?
It It's possible. I don't remember.
Like there was a problem with the lamp that one of them built that was in the attic.
I think it was. That was when Valerie Harper was in it.
I think she had left the show by that point.
Yeah, it was Valerie. It was Valerie, and then it was Valerie's family, and then she left.
Yeah, see, I always thought it was just called the Hogan family.
No, it wasn't.
Wow, that must have been a come down for her, babes. Like
Yes.
you're the star of the show, and then they change the name of it, and then you're kicked off of it.
Or she leaves.
No, because they changed the name of it before she left.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but anyway, we're getting off track here, Bubs.
I would be so upset.
We're getting off track here.
Pissed.
Bubs.
Babes.
We were talking about the Yumm Yumm tree, Bubs.
I was trying to talk about it, and then okay, but let's get back to it. Okay. Now, shenanigans here. Your man, Jack Lemmon, goes over to hang out with my man, David, at a school, and he's like, you have a real problem, my friend. This girl isn't doing it with you. You gotta get this energy out another way. So he makes him work out a lot. And we should also say that Jack Lemmon spent the morning with Robin, doing errands with her, helping her pick out wine for David, getting all these groceries, and and she's like, Hogan, what do you do? Besides, he's like, well, I am the owner of this apartment, or the landlord of this apartment building. And she's like, don't you have something to do? Because I'm really, really busy. She's like, oh, no, I can just help you. Yeah, we don't have to give every detail.
But I just thought it was funny.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's all he wants to do is help a young lady.
David comes home. He's exhausted, falls asleep. Mm-hmm. Jack Lemmon takes your girl out. She comes home. By now, David is woken up. It's 2 a.m. Mm-hmm. There's a big fight. David leaves. Mm-hmm. The next day, David comes over and is setting things up because he really wants to get with your girl. And she gets drunk pretty fast.
Oh, really drunk, yes.
David realizes that this would be improper for a gentleman to have sex with a woman who's this drunk. Yeah. So he leaves. Next day, he comes back, and your man, Jack Lemmon, was in her bedroom.
Yeah, David, he's really wasted too.
Yeah, David freaks out at this. Your girl comes home. They have a talk over to Jack Lemmon's place. He gets punched out by David. And then it's revealed that she did not have sex with Hogan.
She didn't have sex with Hogan, but Hogan saw Irene in the
Irene came over.
Irene came over.
Because she knew what your man David was trying to do.
Yep.
And
he's like, I knew I had my arms around somebody last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Irene leaves. He tells Hogan, I used to be in love with you. I don't know why. You're basically a horrible human being. She goes off with her new boyfriend. Robin comes out of the apartment with David and says,
they got married. We're going on our honeymoon.
We're going to get married. Because they haven't been married yet.
No. They got married and they're going on their honeymoon.
Robin and David did not get married, babes.
Yes, they did.
When?
They got married sometime between that. Remember, because they were saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna." Oh, remember when it was like, "Oh, we're gonna go on our honeymoon" or whatever it is.
But what she's saying is they're gonna get married and then go on their honeymoon.
Is that what she said?
That was the implication. Because when did they get married in the movie?
I don't know. I thought they already got married.
No, that's the whole thing.
No, they didn't get married, but they got married between then and the time that they left.
How would they have done that? Because that's like 5 minutes.
I don't know.
They did not get married.
Okay.
I want to believe, Bubs.
Should we wind it?
Something tells me that would not work out too well for you if we watch that last part of the movie again. Because one, there's no priest around. Two, there's not really talk of them getting married. The night before, he wants to have sex before marriage, and she doesn't until she gets drunk. So I don't know when they would get married.
Okay. Well, so they were going to... Okay, so they left with plans to get married.
Because he had proposed to her.
Yeah, I know.
David. Okay.
They left with plans to get married, and she wasn't going to come back to the building.
Yes. And his maid, along with the maintenance man...
And they were married.
They were married.
They left.
They leave at the same time.
Yeah.
Then a bus full of girls comes by, and Jack Lemmon's happy. The movie ends.
It's like, girls? I don't know. It wasn't deepest movie.
No.
It wasn't the funniest one. There was a lot of funny things in it though, but I'd probably give it at least a 7.
It's better than The Road to Bali.
Yeah.
There were things in the film that didn't jive with the way I watch movies. Like, I couldn't believe that the maid would try to expose all of Jack Lemmon's secrets.
And she's still working.
Yeah,
there.
like maybe if it's her first day and then he fires her afterwards, but I just didn't buy that he would keep this lady on. And I found it hard to believe that she could be that angry at him, not try to hide it, and still be on his payroll. I couldn't buy that David would take the advice of Jack Lemmon to work out after the night before when all this craziness was going on.
Yeah. What I thought was kind of funny, because Robin, like, she did not catch on that Hogan really wanted to go out with her, and not just her, but other women.
Yeah.
She didn't even think like, he wants to spend more time with me when David's gone. Like, she never figured that out, it seemed like, until much later.
The other thing, too, babes, is Jack Lemmon has all these other ladies living in the apartment complex.
Yep.
Why would he spend so much time concentrating on Robin?
Yep.
And not getting with these other girls?
Well, the one lady was, like, super flirty with him. I don't know why she didn't get together with him, because remember when he...
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He got the flowers from her?
Yep. He gave flowers to her.
He gave flowers to her, but then he gave flowers to somebody else.
Yeah. Why wasn't he doing it with them instead of concentrating on Robin? But some guys are like that. They'll get obsessed over women.
They'll get obsessed over a woman that they're focusing on at the time, and then when that fails, they'll go to a different one.
Despite of its problems, I did like a lot about this movie. If this was like the Siskel and Ebert days, I'd give it a mild thumbs up.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting how she was thinking that this was going to develop their minds. Robin, when she's saying, "Oh, we can live together but not sleep together," and I'm like, no one. I mean, even the most secular of couples wouldn't even agree with that.
Well, of course not.
No, that's just that's just a dumb idea, and she just wasn't thinking.
I think that this is a okay film to watch after seeing something like The Best Year of Our Lives. Is it of our lives?
The best years of our lives.
The best year of our lives on a Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm ever going to revisit this movie.
I don't think so either, especially how dumb the girl was.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? You're in college and you're that stupid?
Yes. You know what that reminded me of for some reason, babes?
What?
You know how in Rick and Morty, whenever he sees Jessica, she never really remembers who he is? Like, she'll know it's Morty, but she really won't remember that much about him.
Uh-huh.
I was listening to some podcast. It might have been Wisecrack. This is a couple years ago, and they were saying if this was a live action show and this much had happened between Jessica and Morty, and every time they run into each other, she barely remembers him, people would just think that she was like the dumbest person ever.
Yeah.
But they can get away with it because it's animation. It almost felt like she's the 1963 version of Jessica.
I would agree.
Yeah. She's Jessica's grandmother.
Jessica's grandmother. Right.
Yes.
But meanwhile, Morty is having these fantasies of Jessica, and she doesn't even know who he is.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Would you recommend this film to your family?
I think if they wanted to watch a fun Jack Lemmon film, I think Some Like It Hot is funnier than this one.
Yeah, so is The Apartment.
Yes.
And what is it? Mr. Roberts is really good.
Mr. Roberts,
even though he's not the star of it, it's still a really good film with him.
But if they want to see a drama with him, of course, the Days of Wine and Roses is the best.
That's amazing.
I know.
That's really
so good, and it was so real too. I mean,
yeah.
But no, all of his funny movies were good. This one wasn't the best, but I would say it was a funny for what it was.
Yeah, I'd say a 6, maybe 6.5 is
okay, I think I would get it down to maybe I wouldn't give it a 6.5. I think it'd be like at least a week 7.
Oh,
A week 7 because Robin's dumb, and then there were some questions about other stuff.
yeah.
But it was there was a lot of funny things.
There were good moments in it.
I thought the maintenance man was funny.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Well, good. Well,
the same guy that was in Bye Bye Birdie.
We think so, yeah. Yes. Under the Yumm tree.
And I didn't know what Yumm was referring to until Jack Lemmon was referring to sex.
Yeah.
And I thought Under the Yumm tree was going to be a movie for kids.
Yeah. Now, I know you like having spontaneous weekends as far as movie watching.
Yes.
Do you? I'm more in the school of that's fun once in a while, but it's really good to plan out what you're going to watch, so you know ahead of time, and you can really make a couple of nights out of it. What do you think about next weekend? Should we plan it out more? Do you want it to be spontaneous too?
We could plan it out. I think that would be good. I mean, I wanted to do it this weekend just because it was going to be such a crazy thing, because we were going to have to figure out, well, what are we going to make? How are we going to make it? Do we have enough ingredients?
Well, you know what might be fun, babes? What? Next time we have a busy weekend, not next weekend, but we do a surprise planning to where I plan out the movies we're going to watch, but I don't tell you what they're going to be until we sit down and watch them.
I don't know if I like that. I like surprises. I'm not sure if I like movie surprises. She might plan something that I'm thinking, no! Don't push it!
Oh my goodness. I'll do the opposite of salt and pepper then.
Oh.
Because they say push it.
Don't push it real good. Oh.
Well, yeah, okay, cool. Well, we can have a discussion. I am open to doing the revenge movie weekends. Mm-hmm. So that's a definite possibility. Yeah. Yeah.
Or we can do an epic fail weekend where we laugh at people failing. I don't know.
Yeah, we can watch Winnebago Man.
I was just kidding.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I want to do that.
Oh.
Sounds depressing.
Jaylo.
Yes.
Do you plan on doing any self-love exercises between now and the next time we hang out?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm just thinking about what I need to get done this week.
Oh.
I don't know if I call it self-love, and I'm not really into that movement.
Oh.
So no. But
I might do morning pages.
Yeah.
And get back into exercise and all that good stuff.
I need to get back on jumping on my trampoline, because it really is good for your heart. Yeah. And it really is good for the your body. Yeah. And jumping in general is good.
Yeah.
And get back into a regular routine. Get into a regular routine of doing it, because I haven't been.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you have any dreams last night?
I did not, but I was gone. I was tired.
I actually had 2 dreams. The first one I didn't tell you about, and the second one kind of freaked me out.
Okay.
So in the first one, there's supposed to be an inspection in my building, but it's past the time when it's supposed to happen. And then somebody knocks on the door. It's like a group of people. One of them says, "Can I come in and do the inspection now?" My place was clean, so I'm like, okay. And then that was the entire dream.
That's weird.
Yeah, the next one was really freaky, though. I told you about this.
Yeah.
I'm in front of this house, and my wife is...
in the dream.
Yep, is doing some work on a car. So I talk to her, I hand her some tools, then I go back to enter our house, but I don't know which one it is. I go up to the door of this one that's kind of near where we're standing. I think it's like a red house, but not like dark red. Okay. And then I go back to her. I say, "Hey, come back into the house with me." She goes into this blue one. So that makes me really happy that I didn't try to get into the other house.
Yeah.
We go inside, take off my shoes, and I notice somebody sitting at a table working on something. Mm-hmm. My assumption is it's her father. I go upstairs to the master bedroom, and I'm wondering, why am I here? Mm-hmm. Because this doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't. Nothing's clicking with you.
Yeah, nothing's clicking with me. I don't remember having a wife. I am assuming this is her dad, but I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. So I go looking around the master bedroom. There's less clothes between me and my wife than I have now. Mm-hmm. So that's really shocking. hear a couple people come into the house, start talking to the guy at the table. One of them is a real close friend of mine. I figure I got to tell him what's going on. There's something tricky happening with my memory. Head downstairs, pull my friend aside, and say, can we talk now? He says, let's talk in a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
My response is, I'm going to put this down on the calendar. What day is that? My memory is bad. He says October 31st. Okay, so Halloween. Odd. And then I say, what year is it? I'm having a senior moment. My friend's reply is, it's 2022. So I didn't flash forward in time. I flashed backward in time, even though it's only a couple weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that's when I say I might need to see a doctor, and then I woke up.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Great.
What do you think about that?
That's pretty great.
My speculation, babes, is that, and it's very reasonable too, as you know. While I was experiencing this, the Rick from that parallel reality was experiencing being in bed next to a Filipino woman who really liked watching the Yumm tree the night before.
The Yumm tree.
And then he went back to his reality, and I returned to this one.
Oh, good, yeah.
And now he's telling his wife some story about, I had the craziest daydream, babes. What do you think about that?
I think you're thinking too much of this.
Oh.
But I know it may seem dismissive. I just think that I don't think about parallel realities.
Wow. Interesting.
To me, someone who talks about maybe living in a parallel universe might thinking that they want to escape to a parallel universe so they don't have to deal with their own reality.
Oh.
But that's just me.
Oh, maybe I did that last night.
Oh.
And then I came back.
Oh, I think your mind was playing tricks on you, Bubby.
I don't know, babes. Actually, I did that early morning because we woke up, talked for a while, and then I went back to sleep around, 7:15? Woke up again at around 8:12. So, yeah. Good stuff, babes. Well, babes, is there anything else you want to talk about, or do you want to wrap this up and kick my ass to the curb, as they say, at Disneyland?
I never said that.
No, as they say at Disneyland.
No, they don't.
Oh, okay. What do you think?
They're a lot friendlier than that.
Oh.
They wouldn't just kick you to the club.
Okay.
They wouldn't put you in a trash bag and put you on the club. We're going to have to figure out how to divide up the fudge.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's pretty sticky.
I'd say we take like a metal spatula.
Yes.
And try to break it up.
Okay. And then divide them up into bags.
Well, I mean, I have to take my bread thing anyway, so we can just keep it in there, and you give me some tinfoil to put over it.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll be good, and you can put them in a you can put my portion in a Ziploc.
Yeah.
And I'll eat it later.
There we go, babes.
Yes, I don't have anything to discuss, but that was a weird dream.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good, babes.
Very good.
Should we call this one Jessica's grandmother?
No.
Okay.
Nobody would figure out what that meant.
If they listen in, like 2 hours.
It doesn't have anything to do with Jessica.
That's good.
We didn't even discuss Rick and Morty except for that one segment.
Very good, Jaylo. Well, babes, we should probably wrap this up with a kiss.
Okay.
Okay, babes. Enough.
Don't try to cool up me now.
I
know you
would.
want to.
I never would.
I know what you were thinking, Bubs.
Okay.
Well, anyway.
All right. Let's wrap it up.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.